is profitability. Is it in the room with us right now? Nintendo, I will literally give you $70 cash money right now for red, blue, yellow, gold, silver. Cash money. No. No, it is. My emotions. My emotions.
愚蠢的美国人和约
John Cena.
没错，先生，因为这个视频是给美国人看的，我们想说什么就说什么，字幕会换的。
This one doesn't work. And this one doesn't work. But no one is seeing your film on the big screen. But people are seeing movie theaters. They're driving past them every day to go to McDonald's. The Shamrock Shake is back. Yes! Yes! Pre-order now! This is how it feels to watch Disney Plus. Yes! Pre-order now! Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Wizards Crash Out. Can you hear me? Is this coming through clear? This is the most professional stream on the planet, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to the Wizards Crash Out. And I see Rumble. I just got the Rumble notification on my phone. Shout out to Rumble. I should pull that up so I could see all of the Rumble chats that are coming through, if any. Shout out to Rumble. But we're live here on YouTube. We're also live here on the Twitter X, and I am very happy to be with you all today. We have a lot to talk about because, as you see in the title of the stream, I'm opening the portal. I am opening the portal. Yes, we do have Rumble chats coming in. W intro, as always. What's up, Wizard? What's up, Nova Nerd? How you doing? Good to see you all. It is good to see a lot of you here. I see a lot of familiar names popping up. Innovative Apples coming in with the Michael Bay X Fake Wizard. I am so down for that as a Michael Bay Transformers fan, and maybe I'm one of maybe two people here on the planet. I would love to work with Michael Bay on the new Transformers film because he's coming back to Transformers. Everybody, we are experiencing what it feels like to live in 2007 again right now. You know, there's conflict in the Middle East, and Michael Bay has returned to the Transformers franchise. So congratulations, it's 2007. We have a lot to talk about today, and we are going to get into it. We've got a lot of topics to talk about today, but we're not going to waste any time. I am opening the portal. We're going to talk about it now. We're probably going to talk about it towards the end of the show as well. This is a massive announcement that we're making here today on stream. This is a massive project that myself and my team are dumping not only our time, but also money into to make sure that this happens. And I'm really excited to properly announce it right now with you here. Let me also preface by saying there will be lots of updates. And on this project that I'm about to discuss, the best way to get those in real-time updates is to join our Discord server. You get there by going to fakewizard.com. Our mods are going to drop it here in the chat. Fakewizard.com, join the Discord server where you're going to get real in-time updates. And actually, I need your help. I want you to participate in this project with us. Now, what is it? What am I talking about? What is this portal? I thought you were a fake wizard. What the heck are you talking about? Okay. So I've been here for a year, over a year now, about a year and 1 month. I've had this channel. I've been on this channel doing YouTube videos with all of you, and that's been a lot of fun, and it's been very rewarding. And something that has really come up in all of my videos is this discussion point of like, hey, stop supporting AAA games, stop supporting the AAA video game industry, stop supporting corporations. I talk about this obviously all the time. If you're here and you know who I am, you've heard me discuss these topics. And so when you say don't support AAA games, the response then usually becomes, but Wizard, I like playing video games. What should I play instead? And then I or other people in chat will then say, you should support indie games. You should support small developer studios. You should support small teams of creatives. You should just support just creatives in general. There are people online right now who are making art that if you were a little more open-minded, you might discover this stuff and find it and be able to support them. And then sometimes those things explode, which is awesome. And then what's the response to that? Well, I have a lot of hard times finding these games. I don't know where to look. I'm just a gamer, or perhaps you are just a gamer. It's like, where do we go for these indie titles? Welcome to the fake portal. We here at the Real Life Fake Wizard HQ are developing an online resource that is going to bridge the gap. This is going to be huge. This is actually going to be massive. This might be one of the biggest projects I've ever worked on ever. We are putting together a web resource that is going to bridge small teams and indie developers with gamers. Okay. It's going to be an access point to help you find games that you perhaps otherwise may never have found. Now, some people will say, but hey, Steam, there's lots of games on Steam. And I would say, yeah, absolutely. You're still going to buy them on Steam. But there's itch.io. Like itch.io is really great for indie games. And I'd say, yes, they are. Let me help you find those games so you can buy them on that platform. We're not competing with Steam. We're not even a store. And that's the big point. This is not monetized. There's no membership required for this. This is going to be a free to use access point connecting you to indie and small developer teams. I have already been having conversations with developers privately. I've had private conversations with them. They are telling other developers that they know, and this thing is going to grow. This thing is going to spread. And I need your help. Two things. The first thing that you can do, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here because I'm really excited about this. Right now, I'm going to invite you to join me over on, let's take this down. Let's put this up. Nope, put that up. To join me over on fakeportal.com. Okay, that's what this is. It's called fakeportal.com. Actually, this isn't the right link. I got to pull up the right link. Most professional stream on the internet, my friends. Share this tab instead. Okay, now pull it up. Okay, fakeportal.com. Okay, here we find this is just our landing page so far. The portal is about to open, but this is going to be like kind of the color scheme that we've got. We've got this really kind of silver, purple. I think the term is like something like velvet violet or something for this particular color that we picked. And I'm going to invite you now, sign up for our newsletter so that you're the first to find out when things go live. You get there, fakeportal.com. Our mods are already putting it in the chat, though. And this is going to be a bridge to connect you to other worlds, specifically new worlds, connecting you to new worlds. I'm going to read the blurb here for those who might be seeing this. So what is the fake portal? Well, everyone likes to say, quote, play indie games, or, quote, support indie developers. These are wonderful sentiments that usually end with those statements. Like, it doesn't go much further than that. And nearly every content creator that talks about indie games, I'd say 90% of them never show you any indie games. We just say it. I'm guilty of this. I'm trying to rectify that. The Fake Portal is a resource that will help gamers find fresh, new games from indie and small team developers that they otherwise might not have had they might have had a hard time discovering elsewhere. So here's the thing, guys. I've been talking with a bunch of developers lately, and there are some of them that say, I'm going broke funding music for my game. I had a guy tell me that this week, like a guy who's putting together a game, and he said he was explaining to me, like, I'm having music made because I'm not a musician, and it is costing me a fortune, but I need it for this game. And he's like, so we're willing to work with anybody to help us get the word out to play and buy our games because we don't have marketing budgets. Like, and that's the thing. A lot of the people who are making games, they don't have the big marketing budgets to compete with Ubisoft or Sony or Nintendo. Like, they don't have the budgets for that. So there are countless games that are made that are actually really good that don't get the crowdfunding that they deserve, that don't get the sales that they deserve on Steam, that don't get the awareness that they deserve, right? And unfortunately, it's kind of like it's sad and it's discouraging. And it's the one thing that I know that people are afraid of is like, hey, I make art. I am an artist. But if I post it online, there is 0% guarantee that people will ever see my art, even though I know it's good. That's where Fake Portal comes in. We're going to bridge the gap for that. Our vision is to create a resource that increases discoverability for video game creators while also empowering gamers to play new games. Sign up today and receive email updates for when we go live later this summer. This is happening right now. We are working really hard on this right now. My team and I are killing it. We're very excited, and we're going to be opening this thing with a list of already 100 games. Like, when this thing goes online, we're going to have 100 games on here that are worth looking into and shopping around with. And then we're going to be adding new games to it every week. Lots of new games every single week. Now, for what we're asking you to do now is sign up for our newsletter. We're going to need your help to get this thing rocking and rolling. I'm going to say again, because we got a lot of people that just joined, fakeportal.com. Register for our newsletter where we're going to be letting you know all of the steps to get this thing up and running. Let's talk business. Let's talk business because we got to talk business. Okay. Fake Portal is entirely free. It will remain entirely free. It is important that we're able to connect developers to people like you and gamers like you. That's the goal, right? So I'll say again, we're self-funding this. We're putting the money up ourselves. We're going to put our money where our mouth is and build this thing out. Okay. There is no commerce on this site. This is a free resource for creator, and this is a free resource for gamer. I feel like it's important to say that. I feel like it's important to talk about that because there are too many places like IGN, for instance. There are too many news outlets that use their database to run AdSense. We're not going to run AdSense. Zero AdSense, which means that anything we say, anything that we post, anything that we're promoting or showing off is 100% authentically our voice. The same rapport that I have, that I treat you all with for this channel here, we're going to have on Fake Portal. We're not going to allow this platform to be hijacked by any kind of corporate speak. Okay. That's number one. I feel like it's really important to point that out because the integrity piece of this really is like so important to me. It's very important to me. Second thing, we are going to open the gate for developers to talk about stuff on here. Like, let's say that there's a game on here and I'm going to reach out to the developer and say, hey, we're featuring your game here. Do you want to leave like a video on here? Do you want to leave like a 60-second video talking to our users? Because we've got people on the Fake Portal. They may want to hear from you directly. They have every right to do that. We're going to give them the opportunity to do that. Okay. I got to pull this up. I love this. Let's see if this video ages poorly in 2 to 3 years. And I'm assuming that is in reference to everything that I just said about the AdSense and the corporate speak. And I would say, you haven't been following me long enough, pal. Do you know I love comments like this because it is exciting for me to prove you wrong. Like, I thrive off of these kinds of doubts because then when I don't sell out, it gives me the chance to prove myself. So you know what? Let's see. 804. Let's see if this video ages poorly in 2 to 3 years. I'll take that bet because I know me and I don't sell out for shit. So let's go. You want to play? let's play. I enjoy that. And I say let's play very not competitively, but like friendly, in a very friendly way. Let's play some games. Let's play some games. There's nothing more fun than having the opportunity to prove my integrity. I'm here for that. I love it. Would be cool to add comics too. I agree with you. We're going to add more things. Right now, the goal is to get indie games, indie titles, and bridging awareness for people. I've had private conversations with developers, and it is so much fun to be able to firstly interact with people that are actually making things. But if I can help bridge any kind of marketing support to these projects and to these people that are actually making cool stuff, then I will feel incredible for that. And then we can start doing comics, and then we could start doing things like short films, right? I've got award-winning directing friends that are like, yeah, no one ever like watched my stuff because I posted on YouTube and no one ever really saw it. But like, this is it. This might be the solution. This could be the make or break difference for some creatives, for some artists, is to have resources like this. And you're never going to get this on IGN. You're never going to get this on Kotaku. You're never going to get this on any access media publication at the level that we might be able to do it. So that's where I'm going. That's the next thing. Let's talk about the next. So we point one, point two, point one, no outside funding. Point two, developers have access to their own pages. They can have added to it whatever they want. We're going to start off by like, we'll make the pages there. And then if they want to put a letter or if they want to put a special video, we are super open to that. Part 3, we're going to need your help. I need your help you can join the newsletter right now, fakeportal.com, or you can join our or I actually would like you to do both. Join the Discord server that we have. Get there by going to fakewizard.com. Join our Discord, because I want to know what indie games you're playing. I want to know what small team developed games you're playing. I will not be able to find them all myself. My team won't be able to find them all ourselves. But you might be playing an obscure game. You might know of an obscure developer. You might have friends who are in the space, or you may have friends who talk about these games. I need you to bring them to us. I need you to tell us that these games are out there so that I can get them onto the fake portal, so that I can add them to the fake portal. Okay? It's super important. It can't be. This is not going to work if it's just me. Okay? That's like a big part of it. That's a big piece of this. Like, I will lead the charge and we will go out swinging, and we will keep swinging. But it comes down to all of us fighting for something like this. Okay. If we really want to fight the AAA industry, if we really want to fight back against these corporations, this is it. This is it. Increasing competition for people on the indie side of the industry. And when investors, when other gamers see, like, look at Expedition 33. Now, I know that there's a lot of discussion there on where Expedition 33 came from and who funded it, but let's just talk about that. That was done by a small team of like 30-something people. And then it exploded. It hit the zeitgeist. It exploded. And now everybody's talking about it like it's going to be game of the year. Okay. Schedule 1, that was an indie title. Word of mouth carried that game. It exploded. Made a ton of money. Okay. And Schedule 1 was done by like a single guy. Balatro was done by one guy. Undertale was done by one guy. I want to see more games like this. I want to see more games that are like that explode. And this is the best way that we're going to pull it off. This is the best way we're going to make it happen. So I need your support to do that. Not your money, not even really your time. I just need some of your ideas. I need you to share your ideas with us on what games are going to work, on what games you want to support. Okay. That's number 3. The 4th thing is another piece of this that I'm going to need from you. I've been working in marketing for over a decade. I've been working in marketing for a long time. I understand how to play the Google game. I understand how to play the SEO game. And I'm really excited about this because for the first time, I believe we're not just playing by their rules. Right now we have over 200 people. There's over 200 of you watching this right now around the world. Okay. And this kind of operation is only going to grow as we grow it together. If we all are logged in on these sites, if we're logged in on the fake portal when it goes live and we engage with it at the same time, Google is going to think that this site is extremely important. And when they think that this is extremely important, they're going to boost it in the algorithm. So what's going to happen here, and what I'm asking us all to do, is to, when we go live on this, we're going to use it all the time. I might be streaming for hours on end, and we're all going to be on fakeportal.com. We're going to boost the shit out of this in the algorithm. Together. I want to beat out IGN. I want to beat out Kotaku. I want to beat out all of them. I am so excited to do this because it's the first time, and you don't even have to do anything. You don't even have to spend any money. None of us, well, I'm spending money, but you don't have to spend any money. And we can fight back. Good question. So anyone can host their own indie games on here. We're not hosting the games. We're not hosting the files. You're not downloading anything from us. We are the bridge point connecting you to those games, notifying people that those games exist. We are, in theory, and this is okay to define it as, the middleman connecting you to new games. Because it doesn't exist right now. It is not easy enough to find indie games. There's a lot of them. It's hard to differentiate through them. And you can only scroll through so many pages on Steam before you get a little bored. Okay. So this is going to help you narrow down, because of the way that we're segmenting everything here. It's going to help you narrow down specific games that meet specific criteria. I'm going to talk about some of these criteria in a little bit. So I'm really excited about that. That's a good question. I think there's a follow-up. News info. Yeah, what I meant. I want to have the opportunity for developers to post their own things on it. I want to have the opportunity for developers to post their stuff on it. Sounds like games journalism with extra steps. Games journalists are all bought and paid for by the corporations. Even right now, they're running deep. That's one of the topics we're going to get into later. Games journalists are all bought and paid for. This is an operation that's run by you. This is an operation that's run by you and me. And there's no commerce attached to it. There's no money involved. It's just finding good games. There is nothing like that exists right now. So, sounds like games journalism. I hope we beat games journalism. I hope we beat games journalists. That's what I want to see. What's the link to join? Fake portal. I'm going to put in the HTTPS fakeportal.com. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Sounds like a worthy tome. Absolutely. That's a good name. Yeah. Tome is a good name. A few tried to make small gaming websites. So here's the thing. None of them were a fake wizard. None of them had a YouTube channel. And you know what's funny? Because I like this comment. A few have tried. Lots of people have tried. But you know what? They didn't try hard enough. And money is a problem for a lot of people that are trying things. Yes, money is a big issue. And but they also didn't have a YouTube channel of people that are pissed off. A few months back, there was an author who was tweeting me who said something along the lines of, "Why aren't you showcasing people that are making stuff?" He said, and he was being an asshole at the time. Like, the guy was trying to pick a fight with me, but he wasn't wrong. This was months ago. This was at like the beginning of the year. And he was being a dick, but he was right. He said, "Wizard, you complain about all these companies so much. Why aren't you showcasing smaller developers? Why aren't you showcasing authors? Why aren't you showcasing other creatives? You have this platform. You have a growing platform of people who actively want to buy and support smaller developers. Why aren't you showing them off?" And my response, which was true and is still true now, is we weren't there yet. We just weren't there yet. But I'll tell you right now, the channel is growing. This YouTube channel is growing. We are making moves. Okay. Every video, maybe 6 months ago, every video we can guarantee we hit like 10,000 views. Right now, we can guarantee that each video reaches 20,000 views. Okay. I mean, that's awesome. That's fantastic. I'm not trying to like pat myself on the back here. That's just like, okay, so if we can guarantee 20,000 views, that's the potential for 20,000 people, potential on the low end for 20,000 people to be now exposed to discoverability. They could be exposed to something new. They could be exposed to new concepts and new ideas. So as this platform continues to grow, and that doesn't mean I'm going to stop talking about the bullshit that Microsoft pulls. It doesn't mean I'm going to stop talking about the bullshit that the Nintendo pulls. I'm absolutely going to keep eviscerating those things. But now that I know we're guaranteeing views, I can guarantee eyeballs on these projects. I can guarantee at least a handful of support, a handful of new supporters to those projects. Okay. It's all about timing. And now is the time for us to start this thing. That's why we're here now. So a few tried to make a small gaming website. A few tried, but none of them were fake wizards. And I'm a fake wizard. I'm the only one. Okay, great comment. Love that. All right, so we talked about that. Let me just reiterate real quick, and then we got a lot of stuff to get into. There are going to be moments where I ask you to blow this up. There are going to be moments where I ask you to be on this for like an hour. Hey, pull up the website, be on it for an hour. We're all going to log in at this time on this day for 1 hour. If you could do 30 minutes, you could do 30 minutes. Click around for 30 minutes. We are going to fight Google. We are going to have a street fight with Google to get the rankings of this site up there because, and I'm telling you, what's going to be incredible, I'll share them here, is when we see those Google Analytics reports come back, that you and me, that all of us here watching, we like trip the system. No one's really done this. Because here's the thing, like, it's not fake traffic. It's not bots. You're a real person. You're actually using the site. I've given you a reason to use the site because there's going to be hundreds of indie games for you to scroll through and look at. Like, you're actually using the site. And if we're all logged in at the same time, using the site, scrolling through and looking at all of these games together in real time, Google is going to think this website is popping off, and they're going to show it to even more people that have no idea who I am. We're going to work together, and we're going to have a street fight with Google. That's really important, and that's going to come up closer to when we launch this thing. Okay, so let's tie this up. I'll talk more about this at the end. Real quick, for those of you who are just joining, we're launching a web platform that helps gamers find indie and small developer team games. It is called Fake Portal. You could get there by going to fakeportal.com. And I ask you now to actually come and check it out and sign up for our newsletter. We're just asking for your name and email address. No other information. I need this information to make sure that we can send emails, because you got, all right, wait a second. It's a timeout here. Okay. Email promotion in the marketing space right now, I work in marketing, is a nightmare. And if you can't prove that you know who the people are that you're emailing, you will get flagged for spam so fast, and your domain name is toast. It is a colossal pain in the ass. That's why we ask for your name and email. And that's all we need. And we'll be notifying you through our emails about when step comes up. Oh, here's a really good question. Do you need my credit card and my Swiss bank account? Actually, I need... The Fake Portal needs your help. Get your mom's credit card, the 4 digits on the back, and the expiration date, and you could save gaming. You are a marketing guy. Framing your launch with a street fight with Google is brilliant. I wish I could say I planned that, but I kind of just came up with it on the spot while we're here on stream. I just came up with that. We're going to street fight Google. We're going to fight the algorithm. It's fisticuffs now. That's right. Yes. Don't forget, we're also taking crypto wallets. We will also take your crypto wallets so you could send your MetaMasks and all of your keys. Absolutely. That's right. Never forget the 4 digits on the back. Okay. All right, guys, we have some actual topics to get into today, like that are really, really important and kind of connect back to this. So I'm happy about that. Fakeportal.com. Sign up here today. It's free. It will remain free. And I'm excited about that. That's kind of cool. And we'll have more information on that. I'll talk about it again towards the end of the stream, but we got some stuff to talk about. But before we do that, there are some amazing supporters here in the chat. We're going to check out. I got some super chats here. I have to read for you. Jay Good comes in, gifted 5 real life fake wizard memberships. Jay, thank you for that. I appreciate that very much. Jada Juror also comes in with a 5 gifted real life fake wizard memberships. Jada Juror, thank you as well. That's 10 gifted memberships so far on this stream. Thank you. That is very kind of you both. Jay Good comes in with a 20. This is the wizard we need. I want gaming protected for my kids and everyone, and having this channel promote this movement is so important. Get behind him, guys and girls, and support him however you can. P.S. Cancel Disney Plus. Jay, thank you for this super chat, and I do appreciate the kind words. I'm just a man who happens to be a fake wizard. I'm just a guy who thought it was a good idea to put on a fake wizard outfit and rant about Star Wars. And inside of that, I realized that there's an opportunity here to really give people a solution. There are too many YouTubers who do not give you the solution. They just want to bitch and moan and complain. Too many YouTubers just want to bitch and moan and complain, and then they make money on that, perhaps, or they get famous on that, perhaps. There are lots of motivations for people doing this YouTube thing or this Rumble thing or making content, okay? There's lots of reasons for doing it. For me, I enjoy the fight. I want to fight back. I want to take IGN on. I want to take Kotaku on. I want to fight them at their own game. I don't want to dismantle them and just discredit them and, topple the industry, right? In the way of just making the House of Cards collapse, right? I don't really want that. What I want is true blue competition. I want to fight them at the game and beat them. And I think you do too. And I think all of you watching do too. Okay. I'm tired of Disney getting away with it. I'm tired of Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, Ubisoft. We're going to talk about Ubisoft in a minute. I'm tired of them getting away with it. Now, the solution is not to get more government intervention. The solution is not to scold them on Twitter, even though I do. I do that all the time. The solution is to fight them with competition. The solution is to stop funding these corporations that hate you. They hate that you exist, okay? We live in a system where we can compete, and we don't. We don't do enough. Sure, there are competitors. Sure, yeah, there are people competing with them. Fine. But we could actually be part of that and really fight them. And we could really take them on. And I want to do it. Even if it's just me, man, I don't care. I don't have the money to take on Microsoft. It's the richest company on the planet. But damn it, I'm going to try. Damn it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try. And if it works, great. If it don't, fine. But it's more exciting to me to play the business game. Like that's what's fun. That's what's fun now. I'm kind of tired of playing AAA games than hunting for collectibles that are intended to pad the runtime of video games. That's all collectibles are now. Like before they might have, like on the PlayStation 1, it was like kind of significant. You had to do challenges and stuff. You think of like the Batman Arkham games, collectibles in video games were like, they were challenges to overcome, right? But if you play games that have come out within the last 3 years, like collectible hunting is meaningless padding of runtime. Well, I'm sick and tired of doing that. I'd rather play the actual game of life and take these companies on. that are making this shit. That's what I want. So that's what I'm here to do. Jay, thank you for your comment. Thank you to Jay DeJura for the super chat, for the memberships. I appreciate that. Jay, thank you for the memberships. Couldn't do it without you guys, though. And that's the thing. That's the thing. Can't do it without you guys. So if you're just as disgruntled and upset and frustrated and angry as I am, then this is what we have to do. This is how we have to fight back. Stop giving them your money. And the other solution is to start supporting other games. Support other developers. Support the small scale developers. Support indies. That's what we have to do. And that's what we're going to do. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. We live in a society. Yes, we do. We live in a society. Society. Oh no. So you accept Hardy coins then? I don't know. I mean, I could accept Hardy coins. It is all part of depends if Hardy shows up. And for those of you who don't know, Hardy is a character from a TTRPG game that I participated in here on live. Here online. Ironheart review when? Guys, you want to talk about Ironheart real quick? Then I'll pull up the next topic. Guys, I couldn't stomach the first 30 minutes of the first episode. I shut it off. I couldn't get through it. I couldn't get through the first episode. I had to shut it off. I did watch the ending, like, of the series. I watched the final episode's finale there, when she sells her soul to Satan, and I hated it, and I did not like it. I can't. I'm sorry. I refuse to. My time is so limited right now. I'm very busy. I don't have the 6 hours in me to burn watching Ironheart and then being upset for days after that. I'm so sorry. What the hell is Ironheart? Dude, Fruity Baboon, you don't want to know? You go about your day not knowing that Ironheart is a piece of shit pile of crap show on Disney Plus? You just forget. You don't even want to know, dude. JM Soundwave says this is the best chat on YouTube. This is the best chat on YouTube. And I know I'm like obligated to say that, but I've been a part of lots of chats and I really enjoy this one because you guys are a lot of fun. You guys are a lot of fun. I've been on lots of shows over the last 5 years now, and you guys are fun, man. I really enjoy being here doing this. As far as hanging out with you, making the content not so fun. I'm not good at that. Okay, let's pull this up. Let me see. I got to pull it up. This story we're about to cover is holy shit. This is insane. Okay. This is insane. And this isn't even really a full article. This is just like, I can't believe it. We're talking about Ubisoft. Okay. Before I bring this up, let me preface. Okay. Ubisoft has made a lot of mistakes. They're very famous for some of their blunders and terribly corporate, naive, ridiculous things that they have said. Okay. So Ubisoft made famous a couple of years ago when they said, gamers have to get comfortable not owning their games, which was very telling because if Ubisoft revealed this and at least one company believes it, then that means all of them probably do. So it was revealed to us that the majority of corporations that are making video games don't want you to own any part of it. They own everything, and you are more or less renting the game. You're paying your premium access to play the game at that time, but it could go away. It gets worse, though. And right here, to be fair, this was sort of misquoted. The general sentiment is correct, though. Yeah. I agree with you. I don't have the actual quote in front of me, but that's what they were getting at. What they were referencing is this idea of live service games and how you don't really own those games. They can go away. Well, very interestingly enough, we had just this last couple of weeks the whole stop killing games movement, which is in a lot of ways the antithesis to that original Ubisoft statement. You're fighting those two now. Like, you don't own games, stop killing games, Those don't work. Those two things clash quite a bit. 2 days ago, really, let me back up. A few days ago, the Stop Killing Games movement reached 1 million signatures in the EU. Awesome. Very happy about that. I put out a video. You guys asked for me to do a proper video. I did. I got a lot of comments from you. We talked about it last week. I talked about the Stop Killing Games movement. I don't love protests. I don't love social movements. I'm not really a big fan of them. I'm an American. We kind of laugh at those things. Money moves things. Protests don't really move shit in America. But I said I completely support the Stop Killing Games initiative, and I hope you sign it if you legally can. The same day I posted the video, it reached 1 million signatures. And I hope it's still getting signatures now, because the more signatures it gets, the more it'll be taken seriously. Fast forward some more. 2 days ago, Ubisoft changed their EULA. EULA stands for End User License Agreement. More or less, you can consider this as the terms of service for you playing any of the Ubisoft games. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Let's pull this up. And let's go ahead and read through this a bit here. I got to move my screen around just to make sure it's all coming in. Let me get this right, and I'll zoom in. Okay. So this is I believe this is a forum post, but they have the actual graphic here that we're going to read through. This is really important. So, Ubisoft requires all copies of the game to be destroyed upon EULA termination. Now, what the heck does that mean? Well, let's continue. Users have drawn attention to the wording in Ubisoft's EULA, which was updated 2 days ago, according to which the company reserves the right to unilaterally terminate the license of any purchased software. This may happen either at the initiative at Ubisoft or due to the termination of support for the game, or if the terms of this agreement are violated by the player. So here are just some of the circumstances to it. But simply put, Ubisoft is now saying, and they've kind of said this before, this isn't entirely new. The company reserves the right to unilaterally terminate the license of any purchased software. Now, this is really important here. Let's read this. Termination. The EULA is effective from the earlier of the date you purchase, download, or use the product until terminated according to its terms. You and Ubisoft may terminate this EULA at any time for any reason. Termination by Ubisoft will be effective upon A, notice to you, or B, termination of your Ubisoft account, if any, for C, at the time of Ubisoft's decision to discontinue offering and or supporting the product. This EULA will terminate automatically if you fail to comply with any of the terms and conditions of this end user license agreement. Here we go. Buckle up. Upon termination for any reason, you must immediately uninstall the product and destroy all copies of the product in your possession. I can't believe it. This is like their legal, like the license. This is the license that Ubisoft expects you to agree to by using their products. Let's sum this up for everybody. There's over 275 of you watching right now. We're streaming on multiple platforms. Shout out to all of you. Let's sum this up of what Ubisoft is saying here in their new terms of service license. If they terminate the service of the game, if they delete you and your Ubisoft account for any reason they want, like they could delete you for any reason at all. You can go on there and spam the word spam in the chat of the games. And you may say spam so much that they delete your account, because they could delete your account for any reason. So, there's a who was it? I think it's an old Louis C.K. joke from like years ago. He's like, you can go on an airplane and you could sit on an airplane and you could just say the word down. Like You're sitting on the airplane buckled in, and if you just sat there and said, down, 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 and people would come over and be like, sir, you need to stop saying down, and you could say, down, down, down. They will land the plane. Now, that's a pretty funny bit, but turn that over to Ubisoft. You could just go in the chat and say down over and over again, and they could ban you, right? And at the time that they ban you, you are then, in theory, required to destroy the physical copies of the games you have. Does that make sense? I mean, it's kind of crazy, but like, did I make sense of that at all? Did you understand what they're trying to say? If for any reason the game ceases to exist, whether by you being deleted from Ubisoft's system or the game ends, which means they end, if it's a live service game and they shut down operations of the game, they expect you to destroy the discs that you bought. This is the crock of shit. Holy crap. That's wild. No. That's wild. Think about Concord, right? So imagine Concord, based on the terms here in this license, when Concord ends, when Concord got shut down and they got all the refunds, they sent out all the refunds. If these were the terms, then they would have expected you to destroy all of the Concord discs. That's insane. I don't know what Stuttering Craig would have done. He's got 2 copies of Concord. Shout out to side scrollers. You know, would he delete those because he would have agreed to the usage of playing the game? Well, Ubisoft says so. Okay. I bring all of this up. We talk about this topic. This is a pretty big one because of how stupid it is. I might do a follow-up video. I need to do a little more research into what else is in this agreement that is insane, because this really actually is totally insane. I'm going to read it one more time for those who just joined. Ubisoft's new terms of service here includes you must immediately, should the game be shut down or for any reason you're no longer part of Ubisoft's player system, you must immediately uninstall the product and destroy all copies of the product in your possession. Ubisoft is expecting you to destroy the copies of the games that you purchased if they are unplayable for any reason. Okay. I'm going to use some harsh language here. So I'm giving you a heads up. I'm about to use some harsh language. Hey, Ubisoft, who the fuck do you think you are? Who the fuck do you think you are telling anybody that because the service ends, you have to destroy what you bought, you know? But again, this oh my gosh, I'm getting tickled by the fake beard. Think about it this way, right? And you guys have been saying it in chat this whole time. Who are they to enforce that? Who's gonna enforce this, right? Who's gonna enforce it? Well, here's the thing, and this is where there's a slippery slope of the law here. If for any reason you were to sue them, it could. And again, I'm no lawyer. I'm a fake wizard, so I'm not a lawyer. But I'm just trying to further this idea of if you were to raise litigation against them, right, and they terminated you and kicked you out of the system, they would, in theory, be able to use this as a defense of, well, you agreed to the user license agreement and you didn't terminate your game. So you are in conflict with us now. You didn't destroy your copies of the game, right? You see what I mean? Like, this is insane. This is ridiculous legal jargon. I would love to see LawTube cover this. In fact, I really want to, because I'm no lawyer. I'm a fake wizard. And I have friends in LawTube that I would love to see cover this. Hey, my LawTube friends in chat, can we get this in front of Runkle? Can we send this to Runkle of the Bailey, please? Runkle is a good friend of the channel here. Friend of the channel, Runkle of the Bailey. I know he's a busy guy, but I would love to see Runkle cover this to some extent. Yeah, Hogue too. Would love to see Hogue Law cover this too. Because this is huge. The problem is shout out to Hogue. He likes Ubisoft. Shout out to Rick. Rick's a good friend of mine. But he really likes Ubisoft. Yeah, we need Runkle and Hogue to see this. You know what I mean? Let's be fair. He's an Ubisoft fan. So, I don't know. Shout out to the Lawyers and Dragons team. Good people. Very good people. I miss them a lot. We all have lives to live. Okay. The most stringent clause, I want to read the rest of the post here because we pulled it up. The most stringent clause is contained in Section 8. The user undertakes to immediately remove the product and destroy all its copies if the agreement is terminated. This definition includes both digital versions of games and all installation files, and in a broader interpretation, even physical media. Holy crap. See, that's the discussion point here worth having, right? Even physical media. We talk about it on this channel. Lots of other channels talk about it. Physical media is under attack. Game companies do not want to make physical media anymore. In fact, Xbox may never make another disc. Could you believe that? Xbox right now may never make another physical disc. May not. They might still, but there's a very strong chance they never ever make another physical disc. Okay? Because two reasons. Game Pass, they want you to get the digital Game Pass version anyway. And secondly, digital only games. Nintendo doesn't want to make cartridges anymore. They're bitching about how expensive they are. Nintendo's bitching about how Nintendo and subsidiaries connected to Nintendo are bitching about how expensive it is to put games on the little cartridges, and that it's very expensive. And that because it's expensive, it eats into profits. It increases the cost of the goods sold to put the money on the to put the memory cards inside of the cartridges, right? Costs a lot of money. So this is a direct attack. This is a direct attack on physical media. Now they're telling you need to destroy the discs. That's insane. That is crazy. That crazy talk. Crazy talk. Crazy talk. The clause emphasizes that the right to use the product is completely terminated, and Ubisoft may require the game to be removed without giving a reason. That's also insane, that they can destroy your connection to these games for any reason. Like, they can kick you off. Like I said before, the explanation I gave is if you just go into the chat and you just keep typing down, 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 like the plane will land and Ubisoft can delete you. That's nuts. The EULA also states that the terms may change without prior notice. Okay, here's a heads up. Every single terms of service, every single privacy policy, every web policy at all can change at any time for any reason. Okay, that's part of the terms of service that every company has for every policy they have. So this is not new. This line right here is not new. Ubisoft reserves the right to make edits, delete, or add items, including for legal and technical reasons. If the player does not agree to the new terms, he or she must stop using the product and delete all copies. Again, similar wording can be found in agreements of other companies, but are rarely emphasized so clearly. See, that's the thing. And I think I mentioned this in a video at some point. If you don't comply, the Borderlands, I talked about it in the Borderlands video. If you don't comply to the terms of service, where Take-Two Interactive, connected to Borderlands, right, can kernel your device. In theory, they're kerneling your device. What does that mean? I'll explain in a second. And if you don't comply with them kerneling your device, kerneling your computer, then you're not allowed to play their games. You're not allowed to own you're not allowed to consume their products. You could buy them, They can take your money, but you can't actually get anything for it. Okay. Kerneling your device is when there is software or code or some access point given to all of your personal information. Take-Two Interactive said very clearly in their most recent end-user license agreement update that they have the ability to log in on your computer, look at names, addresses, phone numbers, emails. And there was a few other credit cards, okay? They can do all that by looking in your system because you're playing their game. No way. No way. His ears must have been hot for we were just talking about you and how we need you to cover this for Ubisoft. The termination here that you must destroy the copies of games. Oh, I got to go full screen. Rick's ears must have been hot, everybody. He heard us talking about him. You must immediately uninstall the product and destroy all copies of the product in your possession. This is an update to the Ubisoft terms of service that they have here, the EULA. So we were just discussing how this is ridiculous. Everybody and mods, can we get links to Rick's channel, please? Guys, if you guys haven't, I need you to go subscribe to Hogue Law. He's a good friend of the channel, and he covers gaming law like this, which is really important because I'm no lawyer, and I don't pretend. Well, I do pretend to be, but we're playing like Dungeons and Dragons when I do. I'm just a fake wizard. I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not a doctor. But Rick will cover stuff like this. So yes, check him out. Check him out. Links in the chat. I need everybody to go over, subscribe to Hogue Law. Kata says, we're crapping on corporations. Great. I would say corporations are crapping on us right now. But corporations are crapping on us. They are constantly doing things that are not good for consumers and customers. They're just not good for consumers and customers every day. And in this one in particular, Ubisoft requires all copies of the game to be destroyed upon EULA termination. All right, so we just covered this one. I look forward to seeing Rick and Runkle cover this at some point. We will probably do a some kind of review for their videos and shout them out in the future when those are covered. But there is some other stuff we need to get into. So this is a good topic. Let me see. Got to pull up number 2. And we covered this last night. Okay, we're going to go through it again. Hold on. Most professional stream on the internet. Perfect. Dark. Fake. Let's see. Okay, this is important. We're going to pull this up. All right. I got to preface it first. I got to give the setup. All right. Jiminy Christmas. For those of you who don't know, this past week, we saw pretty massive layoffs coming from Microsoft in the form of developers losing their jobs. We saw lots of layoffs happening. We saw heads of studios stepping away, walking away, whether by force or there's a lot of circumstance. There's a lot we don't know. And I'm not going to claim to know everything. I'm not going to claim to have a clue about what's going on in these companies. I don't work for Xbox. I don't work for Microsoft. I never have. Every summer, there is in corporate America, every summer there is some point where mega corporations do lay off lots of people. I have friends that work in insurance. It has happened there. I have friends that work in healthcare. It has happened there. And now we're seeing it with gaming. It's cyclical, right? It's a cycle of layoffs happening in corporate, not even corporate America, just the corporate world. Okay, it happens. And in this case, yeah. I can't do more Xbox talk right now. Hit my brother. I'm sorry. No, I was watching Bitcast, and I know how close this one hits home. Which I appreciate that. And I also appreciate your insight on this whole thing because of how important it is. Like, this is an important topic. But we'll talk soon. I'm going to reach out. But I got to cover this here. This is an important topic to discuss, though, with everything going on with Xbox. Okay. You guys who watch me, you all know that I'm no fan of mega corporations. I'm no fan of Xbox anymore. I'm no fan of Nintendo anymore. I'm no fan of Sony. I love games. I love gaming. I love being able to share in games and stories and storytelling, creativity, and I love sharing in art. Okay. And so I understand and I love the creative side, but I also respect and understand the business side to this stuff. And so what we're seeing here is there's been mass layoffs with Xbox. It's huge. It's a big topic. Everybody's discussing it. And I'm hoping that I can bring a different perspective on it, but we're going to look at this Perfect Dark article from IGN discussing the Perfect Dark game. Okay. Perfect Dark, just a little heads up. The Perfect Dark game was originally on the N64. Okay. The Nintendo 64 had Perfect Dark. It was the game following GoldenEye, right? So everybody remembers GoldenEye on the N64. Perfect Dark came after that. And then with the Xbox 360, after Rare was acquired by Microsoft, we got Perfect Dark Zero. Now, Perfect Dark Zero, not everybody loved, but it's still, I would say, wait, did the stream freeze? Are we frozen? I hope we're not frozen. Oh, no, we're here. I'm here. Maybe it froze for you, but it just loaded for me. We are seeing, with the Perfect Dark, it's still a big name. Whether you want to admit it's a big game or not, that's worth discussing. But the name Perfect Dark carries some reverence to it. It carries some meaning behind it because it's a name that people respect and people remember fondly from the N64 days. Okay. A few years back, it was, wait a second. It was like 7 months ago. It wasn't even a few years. It was like 7 months ago. We saw an announcement for Perfect Dark. Okay. They were doing a Perfect Dark game here in the future. Turns out that the trailer we got was a vertical slice, which means it wasn't the official game at all in any capacity, even though it said on there that it was going to be like, that was the game. Like what we were seeing there was going to be the real game that we got when it shipped. That wasn't the case. But let's go into this. Perfect Dark developer says eye-catching 2024 gameplay demo had some fakery. I got to pause right there. I'm the only one that could have fakery. Okay, I'm the fake wizard. You're not allowed to have fakery. I'm seizing back the fakery from you because you were fake about your fakery. See, that's the thing. Words have meaning. I can tell you I'm a fake wizard. You know what that means? That acknowledges that I'm not a wizard. I understand that I'm a real life fake wizard. I'm not lying about it. I'm not telling you I'm a wizard. You see what I mean? You see, it makes sense? A lot of people don't understand that. That's the whole point. That I'm a guy that dresses up like a wizard. I'm not lying about my wizardry because it's not real. Because I tell you it's not real. But these sons of bitches over here lied to you with fakery. They were actually fake. Gameplay demo had some fakery, but quite a lot of it was legit. All right. We were rapidly making real design decisions so as to not knowingly lie to players, end quote. Interesting. A developer who worked on Microsoft's now canceled Perfect Dark reboot has addressed the claims that last year's gameplay demo was, quote, fake, and said the glimpse was a vertical slice of the project running, quote, in-engine. Perfect Dark was one of the several projects canned by Microsoft this week as part of the company's latest devastating cuts to Xbox staff and games, developed by The Initiative, a studio Microsoft is now shutting down alongside Tomb Raider studio Crystal Dynamics. Perfect Dark had rarely been glimpsed since its initial announcement back in 2020. Interesting. So it was announced in 2020. I didn't know that. I did not know that. I thought it was announced at last year's event. Oh, so it was last June. Okay. It's about a year ago. So it was about a year ago we found out about this. That all changed last year when a gameplay reveal video aired. Yeah, see, that was the thing. Like I said, it was gameplay revealed. Video aired as part of the Xbox Game Showcase in June 2024. And it's this video that has since sparked questions over how much of what it shows corresponds to actual working game systems. Earlier this week, Kotaku writer Ethan Gotch posted on social media that he had been told last year's demo had been basically fake. The question of the gameplay demo's legitimacy was discussed in more detail by the former Perfect Dark developer Adam McDonald, who now works as senior game designer at the Cuphead. All right, we don't care. Quote, it is actually in engine, McDonald said. Quote, I was one of the 3-level designers that worked on it. It worked best if you played it the way the person playing in the video plays it, but it still worked even if you didn't hit the marks perfectly. That is concerning. Quote, there is some fake stuff in it, he continued, and the real gameplay system shown off worked just enough to look good in this video. We were rapidly making real design decisions so as to not knowingly lie to players about what the game will be. The parkour is all real. The hacking deception is mostly real. The combat is real in that someone had to really do all that stuff in the video. But it's set up to be played exactly that way, and didn't play well if you played it a different way. Well, let's just discuss that real quick there. I have a lot of problems with the way that I think business is conducted. Okay, games, and I'm jumping to conclusions here, but or jumping to my conclusion, which I've already made. Games take too long to make. Games cost too much to make. Games are forced to be conducted in ways that are neglectful to actual creativity by developers. And because they cost a fortune to develop by these AAA industries, because there's so much bloat, and because it takes so long, they then hit you and I as gamers and purchasers with making up the difference in these mistakes of execution, right? So because it took so long and because they spent so much money at the corporate level, you and I need to pay more money for our games. Like that's just what it comes down to. Okay. Some people will say, like, oh, you need to pay the developers more. I would agree with that. And I'm okay with that. I like when people make money. I like when people are paid well for their worth. And I don't think you've ever really heard me really rip on developers like I do on the 5 people. You know, I have my stance on the 5 people ruining entertainment, right? Developers are not on that list. I like developers. It takes a lot to be a developer. They have my respect. Influencers, journalists, writers, managers, and marketers are the big 5, though, of the people ruining entertainment. They're ruining everything, actually. But here's a game that they just couldn't get it together, and they spent years developing it. Like, there was already years put into this game, and they couldn't get it together. And then, yes, what you were seeing in that trailer was a vertical slice, and it wasn't real. Like, it wasn't real. Even if they're saying, oh, it was some of it was fake, it's like, no, it was lies. Lies. Deception. More lies. I need that Saw Gerrera meme like built into the stream so I can play the video. Lies. More lies. Poor Cullet will know. You know, we need that. We need that clip. I think, and I talked about this last night on Hypnotic Stream, and I wish I got into it a little bit more, but now that I've thought about it more, I've come to a better conclusion. Failure at the leadership level is what's causing all of this. It's failure at the leadership level. Those 5 people ruining entertainment are all in some capacity leaders in the movement. They're leaders in the organization. They're leaders in development, and they're leaders at the board member positions, right? So you've got, like I said, writers writing the shit, and the writing has been terrible in nearly everything now. It's maybe 10% of what you're getting now is actually good writing. Yeah, see, there you go. We're thinking on the same basis here. How about a good story first? Yeah, how about that? How about that, Nintendo? How about that, Microsoft? How about that, Disney? How about that, Sony? How about a good story first? Nah, it's too hard. The writers can't write. The marketers don't understand who they're marketing to anymore. They've become narcissistic in a way. And I understand that there's more to it than that, than just throwing a label on them. But they're narcissistic in the sense that marketers don't understand how to communicate with people like you and me. They don't understand how to communicate with the world anymore. They think they can define who the world is. They can define who their marketplace is and say, screw you to anybody that doesn't fall within those parameters. So therefore, you've now cut the balls off of any kind of business growth you were going to have because you're so full of yourself, you think you can tell people how to think and feel. That's the marketers. That's a big problem. And then you got the corporate managers who don't understand what the video games are or what people care about. They don't understand. All they see is dollars and cents. They don't think of you as a person. They don't think of you as a critically thinking being. They think, how do we just get them to buy some more? Keep buying stuff. Okay. And we could really continue that, but we're getting away from the main point here, which is Perfect Dark, which, as I said, is a big name title. It is a recognizable IP. It's a recognizable intellectual property. When they announced it, I was surprised, like that they announced that they were making a new one. I long for classic Xbox stuff to come back. Like I was excited. I would have bought this on the first day, you know. Like I would have bought Perfect Dark. Just like I want to play a Gears of War again. Like I want to play a Fable again. But under Phil Spencer's leadership, we've lost all of the classic Xbox games. The 360 era was one of the best eras in gaming. I don't give a damn what anybody's going to say. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're saying Xbox 360 had banger after banger after banger every single week. I don't want to hear it. Wah, wah, wah. I don't want to hear it. 360 rocked. After the 360, everything fell apart. The PS3 era was an amazing era. It's an amazing era with really fun games, with lots of fun games. And then after that, with Phil Spencer's leadership, man, under Phil Spencer's leadership, things have like completely fallen apart. That's wild to me. Perfect Dark, they lied to us that Perfect Dark was going to be what they demonstrated. They lied to us that what they showed off was never real. It wasn't even there. There was fakery. They've admitted that there was fakery. I hate that. I work in marketing, my friends. I've been working in the corporate marketing for the last 10 years. I understand how this works. And the one thing that I refuse to do, and I have some personal stories, is I hate lying to people. Just because you're in marketing, just because you work in business does not mean you have to lie to people. There's a choice that you have every single day. Do I lie to people? Do I manipulate people? Or do I just tell stories? It's what I said earlier in the stream. Do you tear down the things that are there, or do you compete and play the game? I told you at the start of this stream, I want to compete with IGN. I want to compete with Kotaku. I want to compete with all of them. If I lose, then I lost because I wasn't good enough to compete with them. Fine. I don't want to tear them down. I want to beat them by my own merits, right? But we live in the marketing world, and inside of the corporate marketing world, it is a matter of how do we not earn respect by our own merits? How do we lie to people? How do we manipulate people? How do we form stories and create false realities to make people think that they can trust us? Whereas for me, and I hope you, and I really hope by hearing me rant about it enough, you start to put it into your own lives. But by hearing somebody like me talk about the importance of integrity, you're able to start practicing that in your own life. Okay? Because people hear the word business and they immediately think of lying. People think of leaders, and this was actually it was a sermon that I was listening to, and I heard this, which is pretty funny. Pretty funny coming from it was a pastor who pointed this out. We hear the word authority figure, and in a lot of ways we kind of like shudder to that because we're so used to being lied to by authority figures. We're so used to being manipulated by authority figures. We don't have respect for authority figures anymore because we all know. We all know. Oh, here, pastors can make decent leaders. Yeah, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with pastors. The circumstances of who it was like a local guy. It was like my parents' church. It was like a local guy who, I don't think is that great. Like he's not the best speaker. No hate or nothing like that. To be clear there. I'm not hating on pastors. But here we find in the midst of all these layoffs and in the midst of people losing their jobs, which is very serious. And these are and in a lot of ways, there's a lot of talented people here that are losing their jobs. On the other end of that is we find out that the marketers were fucking lying to us again. So I don't want to hear it that, oh, it was a vertical slice, or, oh, most of it was going to work, or, well, you had to play it in that specific way. You fucking lied to us. You were lying to us again. Again, asterisk today. You were lying to us again today because you lied to us yesterday. You were lying to us the day before, and you're going to lie to us tomorrow as well. Because that's all these bastards do. Is they keep lying. I don't give a damn about fakery. Like, oh no, there was just a little bit, just a tad. There was a little drop of fakery. You said it was in-game engine. You said it was in-game gameplay. Fuck you for lying. Because you don't have to lie. I've been in this industry enough to know you don't have to lie to get people to respect you, to get people to buy your stuff. If you are the best product, people will buy your shit. If you tell good stories, people will buy your stories. How do you get the tallest building in town? You build the tallest building. You have two options in front of you. If you want to build the tallest tower in your city, you have two options in front of you. You either build the tallest tower and earn it through hard work, or two, you tear down all the buildings around you so that you're the only ones in town. And we live in a corporate world where that's all it is, through the form of lying and manipulation. No one earns shit on merit anymore. No one earns respect. These game companies don't earn your respect. They don't earn your love through merit anymore, except for something like Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Small team, honestly, put out an amazing game. It is actually the thing that broke the mold here. Like Expedition 33 proves it's a proof point that what Xbox is doing, what Microsoft's doing is wrong. What Nintendo's doing is wrong. That you don't have to manipulate people to earn the respect of the buyers. And I understand that this is a rant that's going off in different directions. That's fine. It is called Wizards Crash Out. So if you're upset with the way I'm presenting things, that's on you. You clicked on the stream. It's all love. This is important stuff. But I did want to talk about this because I'll tell you, I was, and I tweeted it too. I tweeted it. I was like, when they said, like, oh man, Perfect Dark got canceled, I was like, whoa, no way. No way. No way. That's a big name IP. What do you mean they canceled that? This is Perfect Dark. N64. It's got legacy. There was legacy to that name. It wasn't some South of Midnight new bullshit, you know? It wasn't some Dustborn bullshit. It wasn't you know, it wasn't new something that you really couldn't trust. You know, there's every like new game that comes out now. We go into it with skepticism because they haven't earned our respect. Like they haven't earned our trust. We don't trust anymore. You know what I mean? They don't give us a reason to trust them because we keep catching them in lies. And then they just admitted that, oh yeah, the Perfect Dark that we had was a lie. I don't want any fakery. So that's something that I know people would say. It's like, well, we have to do demos and we have to do things this way. We have to do things that way. Don't fucking lie to me. If I'm not going to lie to you, you have no right to lie to me. I try to keep things extremely real here on this channel. It's in the name. We're going to talk about real life. Don't lie to me. Because guess what? You all watching are a lot like me in the fact of we don't forget. We don't forget when you lie. And eventually, it's going to bite you all in the asses. Eventually, it's going to happen. So I know this is a big topic. I know lots of people have differing opinions. I know everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's got an asshole. Everybody's got an opinion. Okay? Everybody's got one. In this case, they've admitted to lying to me. And I take that pretty seriously. I take that pretty seriously. We all should. We definitely all should. Okay. There's a lot more there to get into, but we've discussed the Xbox stuff. There's so much. There's actually too much there. So let me tie up this Xbox talking point from the position of somebody who works in the corporate America, but I'm not a developer. I've never worked at Xbox. I've never worked for Microsoft. So let me tie it up with the way that I tweeted about it when I first heard the announcement. Okay. They don't give a fuck about you. And they don't give a fuck about their employees. They care about their bottom line. They always have. All of the layoffs that are happening is not to help anyone but themselves. We know that Xbox has a lot of problems. We know that Microsoft has a lot of problems. We know this. There are rumors floating around now that, and it's coming from Access Media journalists who have no fucking idea what they're talking about, or they do know what they're talking about, at which point they're lying to you about this one point I'm about to make, which means that they're lying to you about it to keep you like on the train. And the point is, there's rumors floating around now. Oh my gosh, Game Pass is ruining creativity. Game Pass is ruining gaming. Game Pass is gonna get shut down. Wrong. Is Game Pass ruining creativity? Yeah, sure, I'd agree with that. Is Game Pass creating problems? Yeah, I would agree with that. Is Game Pass gonna get shut down? Dude, what are you talking about? Game Pass is gonna get shut down. It's making billions of dollars. It is the Xbox endgame. It is the Xbox endgame. People aren't buying Xbox consoles anymore. You might be an Xbox diehard fan. All right, more power to you. You might have an Xbox logo tattoo. More power to you. That's kind of stupid, but okay. To each their own. I'm not judging. But we cannot deny the fact. People are not thrilled to buy an Xbox system. And by people, I mean the vast majority of the public is not thrilled to buy an Xbox console system. That respect from the market, like from the buyers, from the gamers. That respect was lost with the Xbox One. And they never got it back. The only reason that I bought an Xbox Series S at launch was because 2 days before the pre-order went live, Xbox strategically announced their purchase of Bethesda. And me, being a longtime Bethesda fan, remember, this was years ago, me being a longtime Bethesda fan said, oh shit, Elder Scrolls is going to be an Xbox exclusive. I need to get an Xbox now. I didn't even want a PS5. I didn't want an Xbox. I was comfortable kind of not really playing games other than I had just built a gaming PC. I had just built my first gaming PC. And 2 days before, they announced they bought Bethesda. And me being maybe not a wizard. I wasn't a fake wizard then. I wasn't even really making content then. I was very naive to this game. I thought, oh shit, you guys, I need an Xbox so I could play Elder Scrolls. So I bought one. I wasn't going to buy one. And you know where that is now? Really funny here. I lost it in my apartment. Like, I actually lost it. I have like it's not like cluttered or anything. Like, I put it on the bookshelf and I forgot. I have lots of bookshelves. I forgot which bookshelf I put it on, and then I put books in front of it and it covered it up. I lost my Xbox until recently because it wasn't plugged in. I have it disconnected. It's away. It's like I don't know. I put it away and I put it on the bookshelf, and then I put books in front of it and covered it. That's how little I give a damn about playing Xbox. I lost it. Okay? That's nuts. You know what's worse? It wasn't even the books covering it. It was my amiibos. It's worse. I didn't even have the books in front of it. I had Fire Emblem amiibos. And I have them in boxes. Like, I have them in these plastic boxes because I have them signed, right? I got some of my Fire Emblem. I'm a huge Fire Emblem fan, if you don't know. And I got the amiibos and I got them signed and I put them in the plastic boxes and then I put them on the bookshelf. And I put my Xbox behind it. Behind the amiibos. And I lost it. And I was, okay, what's really funny is my brain went to, oh my gosh, this is really funny. There was, I was like, oh my gosh, where's my Xbox? Because I wanted to play, because I wanted to use it for stream one day. Back when Assassin's Creed came out, I wanted to use that to stream the game, and I couldn't find it. So it was like 2 hours or so before we went live with that stream, and I was looking for my Xbox. I could not find it, and the first thing that popped into my head was, oh my God, did someone break in and steal it? Did someone break into my, did someone come through here and steal my Xbox? And then it hit me, that's crazy talk, because it's a shitty Xbox and no one wants Xbox. Exactly. Steal one lousy Xbox? Why would you do that? It's like, that's kind of crazy. And then I was like, no, I definitely lost it. And I feel really stupid that I can't find it. Only to find it a few months later behind the amiibos. And so this is a perfect setup for us to get back into talking about the fake portal. Okay. Because I don't, if you're anything like me, if you're as disgruntled as I am, if you're as upset as I am, then it's our time now. We're the Goonies. It's like the Goonies. It's our time now. It's time for us to fight back. The best way to do that is not by protesting. It's not by doing hashtags online. It's not by getting big protests and canceled mobs. All that stuff is all stupid. That's all for different things, okay? I don't want a hashtag. I'm no guru. I don't want a movement. I don't want to lead it. We live in a capitalist world, okay? I think we all know that. And because we live in a capitalist world, that means that our commerce is conducted on a two-way relationship. It means companies sell things, and you have the right to purchase those things if you want them. The price of those items is determined by how far you're willing to go with spending money on said things. If a company does enough good and builds up enough trust and earns your money, then in theory, you're willing to pay anything because they've earned it, right? Well, we're living in a time where most people say, and this is kind of wild to me that nobody understands this. We're living in an age where people are responding to this world that we're in, which they themselves have crafted. They themselves have made this reality by continuing to buy things that they don't need or buy things that they don't even want, spending more money than they should on things that don't deserve the money they're willing to spend, right? Okay. Like the buyers have made this world. It's our fault. And I don't mean really you and me, like it's but ours as being the buyers. Buyers have created this world. We charged it with our credit cards. And because of that, companies have gone too far to one end. Remember, it's a two-way relationship. But now they think they have control of this relationship. And so because of that, they're able to jack up prices to whatever they want. They're able to lie to you and say that it's inflation. Oh, prices need to go up because of inflation. Bullshit. Bullshit. That's all fake. That's all fake. That's all lies to you to get you to remain silent, to get you to be complacent with the idea that they're just jacking up prices so that they can keep reporting profits. Yeah. Oh my gosh, here. And then they literally offer services for you to spend money to spend money. Like Afterpay and Klarna and all those other scams. And they are scams. You shouldn't use them. Really don't use them unless you desperately need to. Do not use them. Those are scams. You pay money to pay money for shit we don't need. Okay. Tangenting here. The solution to that system, you guys, is to stop buying. Like that's the solution, is to stop buying. So there's actually two solutions. Stop buying, which I've been talking about for months, or solution two, support competition. Create competition. Fight back. I'm not a game developer. I'm a storyteller. I don't have it in me to make video games today. I can't do that. I don't have the bandwidth. I have my own life and businesses to run. I have YouTubes to make. I have family to take care of. I have responsibilities. I have my businesses that I want to see grow. I have my matcha company that I'm in love with. I love working with this matcha company. rwmatcha.com if you want to support that. Fakewizard.com. You can get there. You can buy matcha if you want to support what we do. You don't have to. That'd be nice. But, if you want to, it's there. I'm not going to force it on anybody. But I don't have it in me to make video games right now. But I do have it in me to fight back in the video game industry the best way that I know how. And the best way that I know how is to tell stories and help bridge the gap between people. So the best thing you can do is buy indie games, support indie developers, support the people who are dedicating their time to making games, making art, and making new things. And so we're going to do that. And so for those of you who were not with us at the beginning of the stream here, we are working on a new web resource called fakeportal.com. I am the owner of this. I'm working with my team to develop this. We're paying for it ourselves. It's called fakeportal.com. And this is going to be a resource that bridges the gap between indie developer, or one of many that bridge the gap between indie developer, small team development studios that are making video games, and gamers. This is going to be the place where it's easy for you to find specific types of games that you want to play. We're building this massive directory. It's a massive directory. And on day one, we're launching with 100 games. Like, there's going to be 100 recommendations in here of games that you can find that are worth trying or looking at. And well, so I agree with this comment right here. A lot of indies are also garbage. Fine. I'm sure there are. And yet I still would rather support them than support the AAA, because AAA is bullshit garbage. I'd rather support somebody I would rather give money to a guy on a laptop who's learning how to make games than I would fund Skull and Bones, than I would fund Assassin's Creed Shadows, than I would fund Outer Worlds 2, than I would fund Game Pass, than I would rather buy Nintendo Switch 2 bullshit for $80. Screw that, man. I would rather support the kid in college who's starting to learn how to do games, who has an amazing story inside of him, that he needs the platform that he can tell his story on. I believe in giving people the best chance. And we, as buyers who are ready to fight back, or I'll speak for myself here, me as a fighter who's ready to fight back, this is the best way that I think I know how. Love that comment. There's a lot of comments here. I'm going to pull up because you guys are asking really good questions. We're going to get to them. I just want to finish this up here. Fakeportal.com. Sign up for our newsletter. We're going to be sending emails out about this. We are going to be launching this thing before the end of July. We are going live this month. We are working extremely hard on getting this thing operational and up and running. I read this before. I'm going to read it again. Everyone likes to say play indie games or support indie developers. These are wonderful, wonderful sentiments that usually end with those statements. We all talk about it. Content creators talk about it, and they don't actually deliver on it. They don't even recommend the games that you should be playing instead. I am guilty of this. I am now rectifying that. The Fake Portal is a resource that will help gamers find fresh, new games from indie and small team developers that they otherwise might have had a hard time discovering elsewhere. It is hard to find indie games. Like, let's be clear. You could scroll on Steam forever. You could scroll on itch.io. Great, awesome. But you may have a hard time finding the specific game you're looking for at that time. We're hoping to help overcome that. We're not competing with Steam. We're not competing with itch. We are going to link back to those resources for you to buy the games on Steam. This is a zero commerce platform. We're not making money here. No money. No AdSense. No money. No credit card transactions. If that changes in the future, I will explain to you why, if that were to. And as an example as to what may change, it's like if we add merch. That might be the only thing we do in the future, and we're definitely not doing that now. Okay? No commerce here. And if we did do merch, we might link it to a charity or something. This is a no-profit operation, not a non-profit operation. It's not an LLC, 501c or anything like that. No, we're self-funding it because it's the best way we know how to fight back. I think it's important to make sure we're very clear on that. Our vision is to create a resource that increases discoverability for video game creators while also empowering gamers to play new games. Sign up today to receive email updates for when we go live later this summer. And our goal is to go live before the end of July. I am going to be attending the Southeast Game Exchange later this month. I'm going to be there in person. Actually, I invite you to come and join us there. Let's talk about that for just a minute here, because this is really, really cool. So this is let me share this tab. The Southeast Game Exchange in South Carolina. I am going to be attending this event in person. And interestingly enough, if I scroll down here, where am I? There am I. There I am. There am I. Fake Wizard is going to be there in person. I'm going to have a table there. Our goal is to have the Fake Portal operational before this event. So this is on July 18th through the 20th. Our goal is to get this thing up and running before then. We're going to need your help to do it. Join our newsletter, fakeportal.com. join the Discord server at fakewizard.com to get in real-time updates as I post them on our Discord server. It's the Discord of this channel, of course, but there's a lot happening there. Let's talk about Sieg real quick, though. I'm going to be in person at the Southeast Game Exchange. If you could come out to join us there, that would be awesome. If you can't, that's okay too. I am planning on doing some kind of a meetup while we're there. We are getting 100 fake wizard beards, and we're going to pass them out to all of you guys. And I want to do like a kind of a, there's two things I want to do. One, I want people walking around wearing fake beards because I think it will be really, really funny. Because people are going to be asking like, what the hell? Why is everybody wearing fake gray beards? Why are people wearing all these fake beards? Like, is that part of like a cosplay thing? It's like, no, it's not. It's because there's a fake wizard here. And I think that would be hysterical. Like, that would be awesome. That's the first thing. The second thing I want to do is I would love to do like a big, like, photo moment with everybody. Like, if we all got together, if we had a meetup, which we're working on planning, but we do a meetup at the con in real time and we all just have the fake beards on for a big photo. I feel like that would be so cool. Like, that would be so cool to get together with all you guys in person at this event, all with all of our fake beards, and we're going to hand them out there. So that would be really cool. I'm looking forward to that. Southeast Game Exchange tickets are on sale now. This is the first show to more or less like kind of invite me to be a part of their event. Now, I know they feature a lot of content creators, and like that's part of their event, and that's really great. I've worked in the Comic-Con circuit for 5 years now, since 2020. I've done marketing in this world, and this is the first show to like actually invite me as a YouTuber, like as a content creator, to come out and be a guest here. And I not only do I respect that, like, I appreciate that very much. I want the show to succeed. I want the show to kick ass. So they have my full support. And if you guys come out and support that, I would appreciate that very much. So massive shout out to them for, I would say, taking a chance on me. I understand that the things I say are polarizing. I understand that the topics that I cover, the way that I articulate them, my polarizing stances on corporations is not an easy thing to endorse. It's not an easy thing to put my face and my name on your roster of content creators. I don't toe the line. I don't tread the line of like what you can and can't say. I very much attack the corporations that are bad. And like, this is an event that is going to be talking about Nintendo and talking about new games. And like, for me to be there, I usually rip on those things. So I do really appreciate being a part of this event. Major shout out to them. Come check us out, July 18th, 19, and 20. I'm doing a panel on the 19th. We're going to be doing Finding Creativity in Gaming. Myself and my business partner, we're going to be there together in person. We're going to do a panel. That's going to be awesome. More details to come on that, but it's going to be like Saturday afternoon. We're doing a panel. I've done panels before at events like this, but this is the first one where I'm going to have to be in full. I'm going to be in full costume the entire weekend. Full costume, robe and all. I'm going to be sweating my butt off, but we're going to do it because it's going to be a lot of fun. So looking forward to that. All right. Let's pull up the portal here. You guys were making some really great comments, and I want to pull up your comments. Fakeportal.com. You should come check it out and sign up for our newsletter. Let's see. Hang on. From Super Blue, will your site allow people to post game reviews? Very interesting point, very interesting comment here. Okay, so we've discussed that internally. We've talked about this a lot. The answer is not right away, maybe not ever. And let me explain why. I'm sick and tired of game review. I'm sick and tired of reviews being a determining factor in a lot of things. And everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's got a review. Everything is rated out of 5. Everything is rated out of 10. And I want to not continue participating in that conversation. Look at how much do you respect IGN right now? Probably not much. How much do you respect Rotten Tomatoes right now? Probably not much. And we have friends, and I have people that I support a lot who are making review sites, making review aggregate sites to combat those things. And I want to support them in their endeavors. I do not want to compete with my friends like Blaine over at criticlist.com, who's already doing that. But also, like, we're friends, and I want to support what my friends do. And I talk about Criticlist all the time. Big shout out to them, criticlist.com. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of ranking things out of 10. I want a platform that is focused on discovery first and less about being judgmental. And people may not agree with me on that, but I promise once I have an actual demo to show you guys in the coming weeks, I'll be able to explain why a little bit better. So I would say, hold on. There's going to be comments. Like, you can leave comments on games, but it's not going to be a review ranking aggregate system like that. I don't. There are other people who are going to do that better than I will. My goal is to get games in front of gamers and to get marketing in front of indie developers that don't have marketing budgets. That's my goal, is to bridge the gap between those two relationships. There are gamers looking for games, and there are developers looking to find gamers. Let me be the point to cross the streams and connect those people. So no game reviews right now. That's a really good question. Rob Frank says, hey, Wizard, could I give a shout out to Palladium Books? Palladium? Am I doing that right? I hope I'm saying that right. They are doing Kickstarter for a Rifts video game, Rifts Promises of Power. Well, I'm giving you a shout out right here. It's a book series. Go check it out on Kickstarter. Shout out. I would rather waste $15 on indie than $85 on AAA. Ain't that right? I would much rather spend money on an indie game for less and get more. You know, look at Expedition 33. Expedition 33, I know it's not the indiest of indie games, but damn, I got like I played Schedule 1. I played a lot of hours on Schedule 1, and that was like a cozy game where you're a drug dealer. That's wild, man. That's wild. And that was like $20, $20 for that with that many hours of gameplay. Like, that's actually pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool. And it was done by one dude, which is insane. Okay. You clearly only play the best indies. Most are really bad. I also don't buy AAA though either anymore. If it's Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, maybe I'll try it. Otherwise, I just play VR. I just play VR anymore. Fine, I guess. Maybe I do just play the best indies, but that's because I've not been exposed, or the best to your terminology, sure. But maybe that's because I just haven't been exposed to all the other games that are out there that could be incredible. Do you know, I'm going to push back on this with a better statement. I've had conversations with developers just in the last couple of weeks, before I even announced this, of people showing me their games in my Discord server, and they're cool as hell. Like, they're kind of cool, and that's awesome. So I wouldn't have known that any of those games existed had those people not come to me because I do YouTube. I never would have been exposed to those games, those developers, or those studios. And so I would say it's a little close-minded of a statement like this, saying that you only play the best, but because I talk about Schedule 1, because that's the only one I know about. But now I'm building a resource here so that we can find all those other games that out there that are the diamonds in the rough. Eye of the beholder, no? Open mind. Keep an open mind. Super Blue says, it's currently hard to find Survivor-like games on Steam. They don't have a single tag for them. So that's going to be something that we're going to be asking people like you. What do you think on these kinds of things? Do we need more tags? Do we need more criteria? There's a lot of them there. We've got a lot of them here. On a future stream, I'll go through all of them. On a future stream, we'll go through the whole thing. But I'm excited for that, because that's what I want. I want there to be like specific criteria. It's very easy for you to find games that you're specifically looking for. Okay. All right. There are some super chats here that I need to fill. Oh, actually, sorry. No, there was one. I did star this one because I wanted to talk about this and I want to be specific. Super Blue says, I didn't know you were a family man. Congrats on having one. I have parents and siblings that I'm very involved. I'm from a family that's very, I want to say close. So I take care of my parents and I take care of my grandfather, and I'm from a family that we're very there for each other. I don't have kids. I'm not married. So which is funny because we laughed about this on stream. There was like, I was dating someone a couple weeks ago, and it was like, do I tell them that I'm a do I tell her that I'm a fake wizard? So it was kind of a joke. But I just wanted to clear that up, because then some people like sometimes when I say I take care of my family, people will then say in videos and like other comments, they're like, oh, well, you have kids. And it's like, I don't yet. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. I thought that was interesting. Okay. Grateful Gamer, the Grateful Gamer, becomes a YouTube member. Welcome to the membership, and thank you for your support. I appreciate that very, very much. Welcome to the Real Life Fake Wizard membership. Charge 41 for a 2 says, is it wrong of me to not trust Kickstarter games? I think that's a good question. That's a very good question. Skepticism in that regard is a safe thing. It's a safe thing to ask questions like that. I personally don't back a lot of Kickstarters yet. I'm hoping to add that as part of Fake Portal. I think that there are games out there that have a lot of potential if they got funded right. I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, but I've worked on a couple of Kickstarters in the past, right? I know people that have done Kickstarters, and the people that I worked with really only did Kickstarters to fund themselves to get the product made. Like, they didn't make a profit on the Kickstarter. That being said, there are tremendous stories that I've been told just working in the space about how Kickstarters are used to make lots of money. And that made me extraordinarily skeptical of crowdfunding. Like, sometimes the crowdfunding goals are very high, and it's very hard to differentiate who's trustworthy or not, which is part of why I want to have a segment for crowdfunding companies like on Fake Portal, because if they're there, then that means I've probably done the due diligence to talk to those people and find out if they're made of sterner stuff. I hope that makes sense. And I know that could get me in trouble, because there are people like already on the keep. Crowdfunding is so great. You should always do crowdfunding. Like, most of the crowdfunding is not for profit. Like, they're not making profit on it. It's like bullshit. Sometimes they set the goals higher than what they actually need, so that they're making up a little bit of money along the way, which, hey, it's business, right? Like, it's business. And as long as they deliver a good product, like, that's amazing. That's incredible. I am just skeptical. Skepticism is okay. Keeps you on your toes. Yeah, see, that's a very good point here. KCD was a Kickstarter game. Yeah, that's right. So there are I didn't say they're like, oh, they're all good or all bad. I'm just saying, really research who's making the games. In this case, Kingdom Come Deliverance was a Kickstarter game. Super Blue says, I'm 45, so it's just adults living with adults, and I think that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Not at all. Besides indie, I've not heard of one word about Baldur's Gate 3, the greatest indie to date. Baldur's Gate 3 cost $100 million to make, so I have personally a very hard time calling it indie. You know what I mean? There's $100 million to make that game over 6 years. Is it indie? You know what I mean? You know? I don't know. Maybe it is. But I would have a hard time saying it's an indie game and like posting it on Fake Portal, you know, because it's like you spent $100 million to make it. You know what? That's it. Anyway. Okay, you guys, we have had an incredible stream. We're going for a full 2 hours today. There's a lot here. There's a lot to talk about. Let's talk about this one last time, and then we're going to raid somebody. Fakeportal.com. portal is about to open. Sign up for our newsletter below to be the first to see the fake portal when it opens this summer. Please, you guys, we have over 350 people watching this right now across all platforms. Check out fakeportal.com. Sign up for this. We are going to need your help. I can't do it all on my own. I'm going to fund it. I'm going to work really hard. And I promise you, we're going to do our best to put the best possible project out there for you. But we're only going to be able to do this with your support. Okay. We can't do it without your support. We need you. If you want to fight back against the AAA gaming industry, this is our best way to do it. This is the best way that we're going to try it. Okay. And we're going to take a swing at Google. Like I said at the beginning of this stream, we're going to have a street fight with Google for the algorithm. We're going to see if we win, right? We're going to work together. There's a lot of work to be done. Fakeportal.com. Please sign up now. And if you're not already part of the Discord server, fakewizard.com. A lot of work ahead, my friends. Lot of work ahead. Thank you all for being here. Let me see. Who can we raid right now on YouTube? Is anybody streaming now? Redirect. Anybody else live? No. Do you guys want me to raid pirate software? Yeah, hey, let's end this and raid pirate software, you guys. No, we're not doing that. That's a joke. That is a joke. That is a joke. We're gonna tie things up here. All right. Wonderful stream. Thank you guys for all your support. Thank you for being here so much. We had 350 people watching today. That is incredible. We have so much work ahead of us and so many more videos to make. I hope to have more in the very near future. I have to drive either tomorrow or Tuesday back to Wizard HQ. I'm still away. I'm not at Wizard HQ. And there's work to be done. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited for what we have in the future. No, you guys, I was kidding. We're not actually going to raid pirate software. We're not going to do that. Until next time, my friends, create, innovate, inspire, and for the love of God, cancel Disney Plus. You guys be well. We'll talk real soon. Bye-bye.